Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome to Brian's Funhouse. We're going to go back in time and I'm going to give you my top 10 records of 1984. Can you believe we're 40 years removed from 1984? Crazy times. I was a little 13-year-old boy. In the summertime, I was leaving 7th grade, going to big bad 8th grade. We had the famine in Ethiopia, unfortunately. And fortunately, Ethiopia is still kind of doing bad. We had a Super Bowl commercial in 84 that was themed for Apple Macintosh computers. That was a whole 1984 theme in that. That was good times. We had the Summer Olympics in LA. The first MTV Music Video Award Show. What's MTV? What's music videos? We all knew if you were around back in the 80s. That was the first award show. The Cars won for Video of the Year with You Might Think. That's the award show that Madonna slunk around in her dress. Oh, classic times. Pop hits where Karma Chameleon was still on the charts. A lot of the Police songs from Synchronicity were still on the charts. Michael Jackson's Thriller still on the charts in 84, so a lot of big pop hits. Say 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 by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson was one of the biggest hits. The movies, Ghostbusters. We had Beverly Hills Cop, Indiana Jones and a Temple of Doom. You had your He-Man action figures, one of the hottest toys of the year. The biggest song was When Doves Cry by Prince, of course, Purple Rain. Huge. The table makes sounds. This record here came out, Pride was probably the big one. Of course, U2, Unforgivable Fire. A lot of people probably had that on cassette tape way back in the day. But there was some punk rock that came out in the year. Husker Du, Minutemen, Black Flag, The Replacements released Let It Be. However, I was not into punk that much. And since then, I've tried to get into Let It Be by The Replacements so many times. And I don't know. I guess I'm missing something, or I'm not a real punk rocker, because I just can't get into that album. Heavy metal and like rock is some huge records that you'll see on my list. So let's go. Number 10 was a tie, because there were so many that I'm like, how is this not in the top 10? Has to be. So 10 is like a four-way tie. Bon Jovi, the debut, the only Bon Jovi album that I can kind of stand anymore and that I want to go back, kind of listen to. From here on in, it was just kind of overplayed, and to me, throughout time, it's been 40 years, not a lot of substance, so I just like this one. Runaway, my favorite song is She Don't Know, so yeah, Bon Jovi, I played a lot. Now this list is skewed to a lot of the stuff that I played a lot back then, is a little bit of stuff that's grown on me, or stuff that I've discovered from 1984 since then, but primarily it's pretty much what was on my turntable at the time. Scorpions, love it. First Sting, huge. Got a lot of MTV play for, of course, Rock You Like a Hurricane, I'm Leaving You, Big City Nights. So, but yeah, Rock You Like a Hurricane's the big one off of this. But it's on 10. Like I said, it's a four-way tie for 10. One of my favorite bands, Thunder 7, was released this year by Triumph. Spellbound was the big song off of this one. And also Follow Your Heart was another big song off of this one. That's up there with number 10. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. Huge album. I played this a lot. Had a cassette tape way back when. Burn in Hell, of course, that was featured in the funny Pee Wee Herman movie. I Want to Rock, The Price, that was a slow one. We're Not Going to Take It, of course. I mean, yeah. It's up there. It's a tie for 10. Sorry, you got to make room with Triumph, Bon Jovi, and Scorpions. What else is tied for 10 that a lot of you are going to be like, you're stupid. I don't want to subscribe to your channel or like this video because you're stupid. This belongs way down in the list. How can you have it tied in 10? Growing up, I just wasn't I like them, but for some reason, I was always not a big fan. I wouldn't go crazy for them. I enjoyed seeing the videos on MTV. I enjoyed hearing them. I liked a lot of their songs. I remember staying up late with my cassette player, and The Loop, which was the big rock station here in Chicago, would play Unchained, and I recorded it. I'm like, oh, I love this band. But it wasn't a band that I really sought out to seek their stuff. I didn't go ever see them live. I don't know. I loved them. Of course, I'm talking about Van Halen, 1984. That didn't make the list. All right, so those are all 10. Now let's get to number 9. Before I get to number 9, what I want to say is this is the year 2024, 40 years removed from 1984. What a crazy time that was. And a selfless, shameless plug, I guess. If you go to the link of this video, or you just search Space Age Zeros on Bandcamp, Space Age Zeros is the band I'm currently in, our new single Fireworks is available now for free. We're giving it to you for free to help promote the upcoming album Strange New World. It's going to come out on Mystic Albums. Mystic Records. Didn't they have Bad Religion, No Effects, The Mentors, yeah. And now they have you guys. Yeah, it's a crazy world, isn't it? Yeah, so link or just search Space Age Zeros Bandcamp and you get a free song. You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't blow off your fingers 4th of July. So, number 9. Number 9, now this is the only band on the list I'd say that it's grown on me, so it was not on my turntable whatsoever. In '84, I was not really into punk, any indie or college rock. I was still a little kid. I still hadn't discovered, like REM put a great album out in '84. I hadn't discovered any of that stuff yet. But since then, of course, had to include this on my 1984 list. This is the Smiths' debut. Oh, some good stuff on this. What difference does it make? It's the big one off of this one. Of course, Morrissey with Johnny Marr and the boys. Number 9, the Smiths' debut. I've never seen the Smiths live, obviously, but I've seen Morrissey twice. This band I saw live way back in the day, and I saw live recently, and I'm going to see live again before the year closes out. Talking about W.a.s.p, the debut. This is number 8 for me in the top 10 1984 releases. W.a.s.p, their debut. Blackie Lawless, classic lineup with Chris Holmes there. I don't know what it was. I think I saw a video on MTV, and the record cover just was like, yeah, I mean, at the time, being a 13-year-old kid, this is about as evil as you get. And I just loved all the songs. I Want to Be Somebody, Love Machine, The Flame, School Days, Sleeping in the Fire, On Your Knees, Torch Never Stop. Just great, great record. So that's number 8. Number 7, this did not leave my turntable for a long time. When I think back of how I had my turntable set up and the albums I had, right, I had a little stack, not unlike today, but I had a little stack. This was always on it. I don't know if it's because I was like, ooh, cleavage. But whatever. Whitesnake, Slide It In. I love this voice. I never heard of the band until then, so I didn't really know Cozy Powell or John Sykes or John Lord even. This was all just some new group. And Slide It In, Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger. I mean, Hungry for Love, Spit It Out. This is just good stuff. Number 7, right? Whitesnake, Slide It In. Number 6, a band that I discovered and I was like, ooh, they're a little bit evil, and it took me a while to like be okay with that because I was okay with Judas Priest early on, but this band, oh, I don't know. 666, Number of the Beast, that's scary. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. This is my number 6 record. 2 Minutes to Midnight. They used to play that video all the time on Headbangers Ball and MTV. Power Slave, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, of course. So yeah, Aces High. Come on, Aces High. My favorite Iron Maiden song. So number 6, Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Number 5, just like the Whitesnake album, this never left the area that my turntable was in ever. Love this. Expected huge things from this band. And for me, they peaked with this album, and then they just kind of were good. But this was a great, phenomenal album. Tooth and Nail. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Just Got Lucky. I heard that song, and probably that was the one that like introduced me to go out and seek this album out. But Rockin' with Dockin', they're still around in some forms or another. George Lynch plays with other things. Jeff Pilson is in Foreigner. Mick Brown, I don't know what he's doing, if he's doing his own version of this or not, but Don Dockin', Rockin' with Dockin', Tooth and Nail. What a great record. Came out in September. This is their 2nd album. Good stuff. Oh, September '84. Good times. Now, we are getting to the nitty-gritty. Number 4, my favorite album from this band, also their 2nd album. Came out in July of 1984 when we were all... 84 saw us listening to Do They Know It's Christmas, which is that UK song with all the stars, and then that would inspire Live Aid, which would be out in 85. Little fun fact for it. But anyway, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Oh my lord. I think I discovered them right after this, so I didn't get this right when it came out. But soon after, Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, like I said before on this channel. My friend Eric taped this and Master of Puppets on a cassette tape for me. Home music taping is killing the music industry, and it was just, I was like, are you kidding me? I don't think he could fit Call of Cthulhu on the tape though, on the side, so I think it ended with Creeping Death. But yeah, number 4 for me, came out in July '84, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Ah, my favorite from theirs. Number 3, also my favorite from theirs, came out in February '84, Round Around, heavy airplay on MTV. Talking about Rat Out of the Cellar, Miss Tawny Katane. Rest in peace there on the cover. Robin Crosby, rest in peace. I saw them the tour after this tour. Stephen Pearcy is currently going around playing this full album, and I think he comes to Illinois in August, but I may be not free that night, so I may not catch that show, unfortunately. But man, number 3, if you were hanging out with me in 1984, we were listening to a hell of a lot of Rat out of the cellar. Number 2, what could beat that? You know, 2 and 3 for me went around and around and around. I'm like, what was I really playing more? What could I mean? Rat, that was constantly on my turntable. But this was maybe a little bit more on my turntable. Probably. The imagery was a little stronger. I loved the voice. Ooh, he used to be in Black Sabbath, all kinds of things. The second album came out in also July of '84, like Ride the Lightning did. Ronnie James Dio, Last in Line, an artist. I'm kicking myself. I've never seen live. Never saw Dio live. We Rock, Last in Line, I Speed at Night. Mystery, Evil Eyes, of course, Egypt, The Chains Are On. I mean, this is the artwork. Oh, come on. This is good stuff. And the videos for Last in Line. Let me know in the comments below what you liked in '84, some of your favorite records. But for me personally, looking back now, when this came out, I was hanging out with my friend Joey, and his older brother Rico was a drummer, and he was really disappointed that the band went from guitar heavy to keyboard heavy, and it took him a long time to accept it. And I was like, you know, you're a kid, you just try to act like the cooler people, so I thought he was cool because he had this big drum set. I, at the time, was learning to play drums on a very small drum set. And I was like, yeah, me too, I feel the same way too. But I love listening to this album, and then they released a video on MTV, and I just, one of my favorite bands of all time, if not my favorite band from all time, Rush. In '84, their release, of course, was Grace Under Pressure, an album that, I mean, any Rush from the 70s and 80s, I'm going to play all the time. I own their whole catalog, but really when I'm playing Rush, it's going to be 70s and 80s Rush primarily. And Grace Under Pressure was their first album to kind of take them out of the guitar rock era, throw them kind of into the keyboard era just for a little bit, and then they would return to a little bit of everything. But yeah, Grace Under Pressure, what a great album. This and Power Windows, I just big fan of. So for number 1, 1984, whether I admit it or not at the time, I was playing a hell of a lot of Rush, Grace Under Pressure. Alright, that's my list. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, be sure to Google that Space Age Zero's Bandcamp, and on that page you'll get a free stream of our new hit song, Fireworks. Alright, thanks for watching.